Hello once again, guys. Welcome back to another episode of Phoenix Wright Justice 33rd of Justice. Last time, we chose to defend Ahlbi, your guide, in the High Court of Khura'in. And this time, we are actually going to defend Ahlbi, your guide, in the High Court of Khura'in. This is your host, D. Meuol, I don't know. And yep, let's just get right into it.
To defend him? You can't be serious!
Yes, but of course I am serious. Do you hear that? See out of his mind. Heaven forbid! Defend me? Mr. Wright! What are you saying? You can't do that! But I can. I most certainly can. Don't worry, I'm quite used to tackling all sorts of trials. Besides, can you imagine how furious Maya would be if I let anything happen to you? Mr. Wright.
You are but a naive tourist, ignorant of our ways. But if you are smart, you will heed my advice. Do not pursue this matter any further.
Looks like defending somebody is easier said than done in this country.
Bailiff, throw this man out!
Hold it! Oh.
Hold it!
I'm sorry. Oh, this pain voice, I just shouldn't be doing it, but it's the most authentic thing I can do.
Your Majesty, if you please.
You have something to say, Mr. Payne.
Why not allow it, Your Majesty? Why not have it defend the accused? It could prove very interesting, right, Mr. Phoenix Wright?
Right. Mr. Whoever you are. Yep, doesn't look like you remember him.
Prosecutor, are you acquainted with this traveler?
That's Chief.
Oh, interesting.
Your Majesty, and yes, I am acquainted with him. He's a defense attorney from my native land. From Japan. Oh, I mean, from America. I've dealt with him in the courtroom before.
Well, once.
Happens to Betsy.
What?
Mr. Wright, you're a
defense attorney? Welp.
A defense attorney? Well, this is a shock.
You may be surprised to hear that I have more than 10 years of experience. Yeah, but those are not consecutive years, you dummy. Guess there aren't all that many lawyers around here.
Your Majesty, would you kindly allow us to proceed in the...
I'm already giving his the judge voice because I don't want to do the pain voice.
Would you kindly allow us to proceed in this matter of my own country?
But Mr. Payne, I've already made a ruling in this case.
Yeah, but we can have double jeopardy or something like that.
Call it nostalgia if you will, but I am most eager to give it a try.
And I have a previous engagement, you see. Class together with the missus.
Missus? Your Majesty, I really wish you'd have a whack at it. Sounds amusing. A score of years have passed since we last saw a defense attorney in this courtroom. Score as in 20 years? What's the deal with this country? Huh. Interesting. Mr. Payne, I want that Borbet had brought to me to an honest stick.
As you wish, your benevolence. Chief Prosecutor Payne will see to myself. Very well, Mr. Payne. That is what you and her benevolence want. I'll acquiesce. For the defense, I hope you're prepared for every eventuality.
I don't think I am, but what is he talking about? Yep, whatever.
There! Are you satisfied now, Mr. Wright?
Yep. Yes, thank you, Mr. Payne. Sorry for not remembering you earlier. Of course, how will you remember it?
That's Chief Prosecutor, or the Incredible Payne, as I'm also known in this country.
The Incredible Payne. Oh god.
You'll see soon enough just why that is. when you're forced to capitulate me before this very court of law.
Why is he so strangely confident? Well, it's been 20 years since we had a defense, but yeah. You know. So what's with the gallery?
You just watch. That defense attorney will try and twist the truth. You can bet on it.
Get him, Chief Prosecutor! Crush that defense devil!
This is way more... it's way more lawyer hate than even back home.
Now, if you would please give your opening argument once again, Mr. Payne.
Certainly, Your Majesty.
Huh. Oh, this is the... it's the... opening statement music I've heard of the OST. Interesting.
The accused is charged with 2 crimes, larceny and murder.
Oh. Huh.
Yesterday, the founder's soul was stolen from the treasure room of Temple. In addition to the theft, the other 2 things were discovered in the treasure room. The dead body of Mr. Pottrell,
Obvious pun is obvious.
Temple security guard, and the empty treasure box that housed the orb which Mr. Roll was in house of guarding. We believe that Mr. Roll was murdered by the thief who stole the treasure.
Huh.
To kill a guard, with a gun, what a terribly bold act.
I couldn't agree more, Your Majesty. Please allow me to submit as evidence the victim autopsy report and crime photo.
I should have a look at those 2. Alright, crime scene photo and the autopsy. I kind of want to look at them.
It's been a long time since we had evidence presented in court as well.
Oh, we're going to explain it.
It's kind of refreshing, actually. Ha 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 ha.
We may rely on the power of seances, but our police still carry out investigations. Thus, any proof I provide is indisputable.
Oh, really? Well, forgive me if I don't just take your word for it. I can check the evidence codes out myself by looking at them in the court record. We'll see just how thorough you and your police were, Mr. Payne. Yep, let's check that out. I want to check the autopsy. Oh, this is not a big autopsy. 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Alright. Looks like there's a scroll there, or something like that. Song of Ceremony, we already had this. I'll be your god. 9:59. Whoa, you're old. And 32. Yep. Doesn't look too interesting yet. You will see how third your police were, Mr. Payne.
Such a deplorable crime. The audacity of stealing the sacred treasure of Her Holiness, our founding mother. It's a crime that strikes at the very heart of our nation.
Exactly, Your Majesty. We mustn't let the culprit get away with these heinous deeds. Indeed, such deeds are best described as treason against the crown.
Oh, this is where treason all comes in. Is this treasure really such a valuable object?
How could you even ask such a thing? Of course it is! Why, sealed within this treasure is the very soul,
Oh, interesting.
The mitzvah of the Holy Mother.
Her soul is sealed within the treasure? I think I'll take that with a grain of salt. I mean, they're very religious people, so yeah, they believe it.
You don't believe it, do you?
Of course I believe it! Something tells me I'd better play along.
This kind of irreverence is exactly why I dislike this defense attorney so much.
Your Honor, Your Majesty.
What is it now?
This treasure, I've never seen it, so it's a little hard for me to imagine. Can I see a photo of it or something?
Of all the outlandish requests, you defense attorneys are always trying to be beyond the pale.
He's been getting awfully angry with me, and those veins popping out of his forehead. Well, all judges always get angry at you, Phoenix.
Sir,
It's forbidden for anyone outside the royal family to view the treasure itself. They say that anyone without the proper spiritual power would be blinded instantly. Huh. That is why the average person has never seen the test treasure, Mr. Wright.
I guess there are national treasures that are off limits to the public back home too. Yeah, I can see that, like Area 51, you know.
For the benefit of the shameless uninformed defense, let me share this newspaper article. No. Includes photos taken about 8 years ago when the treasure was unearthed. These are the only public photos of the other box in existence. What's more, the treasure box only leaves the temple's treasure room but once a year, for a special New Year's rite that takes the place at the palace. Therefore, this treasure box has only ever been seen by a handful of people.
Huh. Interesting. Add it to the court record. Yep, we'll do that.
I hear there's been a string of thefts lately of historic artifacts from the temple.
What?
Right, your majesty. Inexcusable thievery of...
I'll go with this, boys. This is better.
Inexcusable thievery of precious national treasure for personal gain. And the culprit is the accused.
So he used his position as monk in training to get his hands on the treasure. Is that it?
Oh.
The accused family is by no means wealthy. To help with family finances, he works as a tour guide in addition to his ascetic training.
Oh. Thank you for giving an excellent outline of the case, Mr. Payne. Now then, no more questions from the defense, I presume.
What? No, I do have questions!
Even more? But you asked a bunch. You just asked a bunch. Well, make it snappy. My class starts in just a few short minutes. What? He's still planning going to that thing? You're probably not going there. There's still a lot of don't know about the case. Should ask now while I have the chance. Oh, logic music. Let's see, what else do I need to know more about? Crime scene, weapon. I'll go for the motive for now. What do you claim was the defendant's motive?
Mr. Payne has already explained it.
Oh, what? He has? I wanted to sell the... Oh, I'm not paying attention.
In order to help his family with living expenses.
Oh, yeah, I guess it slipped my mind.
So it's true what they say about the lawyers never listening to anyone but themselves.
My apologies, Your Majesty. Please let me give it one more try.
Very well, if you must.
Alright, let's see. I think the weapon is supposed to be the correct answer, but just for the heck of it. Crime scene. Mr. Payne, where did the crime take place?
What? As already stated, it was in the treasure room of the temple.
Oops, that's right, yep.
Huh. Have you even been paying attention?
No, apparently not.
With memory too.
He apparently has all the brain power of a barnyard chicken, Your Majesty.
Ha 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 ha. Explain why he has a
Dressed like a rooster. No matter where I go in the world, the insults are always the same to my freaking hair. Your Majesty, let me try again. Let's just ask about it. Weapon, please. Mr. Payne, what was the murder weapon?
The murder weapon was the treasure box itself.
Oh.
The empty treasure box left at the scene had a large blood stain on it.
How utterly reprehensible using the sacred treasure box for murder!
Oh. Interesting. The accused came to the treasure room with the breastplate of still in the treasure. Okay. Climbed the altar stairs, snatched the box, ready to abscond with the treasure. Oh, there's Mr. Roll. Let's go recommend Mr. Roll. I had come to the room in the course of his rounds. After walloping Mr. Roll in the head with the treasure box, the accused forced the bloodied housing open and made off with the treasure inside. Oh, interesting. I like hearing this logic. Like, probably when we are doing something important, I'll leave it off with the silly voices. Because I really want to catch details. The photo's the only one in existence. But the defendant's just a little boy. I hardly think he would be able to hit the victim, a grown man, on the head.
A very good point, Mr. Wright, but I'm afraid that won't help you. At the time of the crime, the accused was on the stairs leading up to the altar. The accused's elevated position would more than make up for the difference in stature.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Mr. Payne, your reasoning is flawless. What an elegant argument. Hats off to you, Chief Prosecutor.
Your title is obviously well earned. Oh, my title is obviously well earned.
Well, the accused's guilt is certainly conclusive. Unless there's anything else, I'm ready to announce my
No, please don't.
Very well, in that case, I find the accused.
Hold it!
Just one moment, Your Majesty. Don't you think you're rushing the verdict just a little bit?
No. I told you, I have plans to attend to, and... I'm late! It's already started! How did the time fly by so fast?
He's still stuck on that. Well, we haven't even heard the defendant's side of the story yet. Your Majesty, the defense asserts his right to cross-examine the defendant. Huh? Did I say something funny?
Cross-examine the... What do you mean by that?
What? What do you mean by what do I mean?
I seem to have some dim recollection of the process, but I can't quite recall.
And little wonder, so-called defendant hasn't been questioned in over 20 years.
Should I even be surprised anymore? This court system is so broken. Anyway, I demand we let the defendant or accused tell his side of the story.
It's not really necessary.
Of course it's necessary, Your Majesty.
What harm could it do? Say we allow the boy to speak, Your Majesty. Though I doubt he'll have anything of relevance to say.
Oh, how kind of you, Your Royal Pain. They did the joke. They did the Royal Pain joke.
Very well, as long as it is okay with you, Mr. Payne. I'm already hopelessly late for my class anyways.
Rip the class.
In any case, the prosecution calls the accused back to the witness stand.
Wait, did he even go off the witness stand?
I'd better call my wife and apologize for missing that class. Any objections?
Objections, go for it, Your Majesty. Whatever. Do what you will. No, Ahlbi.
Accused, state your name and occupation again if you would.
I'll be your guide. I'm in training to be a monk, and I'm a tour guide too.
Why me? Now, where were we?
Cross-examining the defendant, Your Majesty.
I'm cross-examining the defendant.
Right. Let's do that then. The defense attorney's assistants, I might add. He sounds a little despaired. His wife must have given him a piece of her mind. Sure thing.
Well, the defense had better go get it. And make it quick, if you please. I want to go to my next class.
The defense? Mr. Wright, I didn't know you were a lawyer. Well, I am, and I'm here to defend you, Ahlbi. Don't worry. All you have to do is tell the truth, and you'll be alright. You tricked me. What? If I knew you were a lawyer, I wouldn't have given you that tour. Give back that magatam I gave you yesterday! Ahlbi, what's gotten into you?
Don't talk to me! You disgust me!
Now even Ahlbi's against me. But why?
This must be a new experience for you, Mr. Wright. Being loathed by a client. Now then, accused, please give the court your testimony. The incident occurred around noon, during the break between the morning and afternoon dances of the Botians. The Botians isn't plural. Shut up. I want you to tell the court what you were doing around that time.
Alright. Oh, cross-examination. Got a cross-examination. Great. The accused account. I didn't kill Mr. Roll, and I didn't steal the treasure. I'm not allowed to go anywhere near the treasure room. I've never even seen a treasure box with the green Chinese butterfly on it. When the incident happened, I was in the hallway planning out my tour route. Were you well acquainted with the victim? I didn't even know him. Oh, whoa, what? Yes, he used to chat with me whenever we ran into each other in the temple. Mr. Roll was a monk in training when he was a kid too, you know. Whoa. Wait. Oh, yeah. He probably told you about his kid experiences. I bet Ahlbi looked up to him. But he had to give up and go to work when his family needed money. That's why he became a god. But at least that way he could still stay at the temple. He was so proud when he was put in charge of guarding the treasure box. He even got to carry the box to the palace for the New Year's rite.
The victim's parents apparently both died relatively young.
Oh my god, why are you giving Mr. Rule so many fields?
So Mr. Roll has to support his younger brothers and sisters as well. But even with his job as a security guard, I'm sure things couldn't have been easy for him.
It sounds like his circumstances and Ahlbi's were very similar. Mr. Roll encouraged me to never give up. Ahlbi, you train hard and make sure you become a monk one day. Don't end up like me. Why are you making him the same you made? It's a victim, you're not supposed to do that. I like him like me, he'd say. He's always cheering me on it, in my training, and my tour guide business too. Why in the world would I kill such a nice man like that?
Yes, I see. You express yourself very well. Offense, now that you've heard the accused's account, you're finally satisfied. If so, let's draw this thing to an end.
No, but your majesty, I haven't even cross-examined the defendant yet. No shit.
That wasn't the end of it. It's been so long I don't really rightly recall what this cross-examining thing it's all about.
A judge who doesn't know what a cross-examination is? What fresh hell is this?
I really do wish I could remember how it works.
Should I give the judge a refresher? No. I'd better save my breath. The judge doesn't exactly seem like a model student. He'll just have to watch and see how it's done. Just you watch and see. And we're going to do this in the next episode of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Spirit of Justice. Or cross-examining Ahlbi. So yep, I'll see you guys in the next episode of this game. It's so great up to now. I'm so excited. Anyways, I'll see you guys then. So I hope you take care. And this has been the Meuol. See you guys again.